and that is that we should push the pause button until we fully understand the consequences of coal seam gas. I've said all the parties are guilty, both sides, of being far too quick to rush into this, and I've acknowledged that we were in the same boat. But as far as I'm concerned, until we completely understand the consequences of coal seam gas, we should push the pause button until the science is in. There is no reason to rush into this notion of we need to get it out of the ground now. It's not like cheese in the fridge. It's been there for thousands of years. It will stay there for thousands of years until we fully understand what the impacts will be. We live in one of the driest continents in the world, so water is absolutely precious. We need to understand what it will do to water aquifers, what it's going to do to our groundwaters and our water catchment areas. And we should never, under any circumstances, compromise our water with this industry until we understand the consequences. It is an emphatic stop until the science is in and we know what's going on. And I'm talking peer-reviewed science. I'm not talking about the science of the Santoses and the AGLs. I've had them in my office. I've looked them in the eye and I've told them, I don't care how good you think your science is, the problem for you as an industry is our history is littered with industries that have told us there's nothing to worry about. Whether it was the asbestos industry and James Hardie telling everyone you can sprinkle it on your cornflakes and eat it in the morning, it'll do you no harm, or the tobacco industry who said there's nothing wrong with smoking, it's good for you. History is littered with business that has told us because of a vested interest that there is nothing to worry about. I've said peer-reviewed science, and until that's in, we should do nothing in this space under any circumstances.
I want to congratulate John Robertson on that statement and on taking the Labor Party to that position. Brave decision. I think it's a shame that having made that brave decision, they didn't support our legislation to actually ban extractive industries in the catchment, in the Central Coast catchment. It's a shame that didn't happen, but nonetheless, I do want to congratulate and acknowledge Labor has gone there. But I think we need to, for all the reasons John said, and some of you know, I'm an electrical engineer. I used to work in the power industry. I still have connections to the power industry. One old coal engineer, coal-fired power station engineer who was bemoaning the whole thing said to me, what are we doing on the driest country on the planet, bringing up orange-coloured water and bubbling it into our drinking water supplies? Absolutely correct. But I think we need to go beyond just the moratorium. Right? I think there should be a moratorium, and I think the science is very complex. But we also need to recognise this is a fossil fuel. This is a fossil fuel that, when it is burnt, will release carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Just like coal, it is contributing to global warming. As Barack Obama, here I am quoting an American president, as Barack Obama said this morning, we are the first generation to see the effects of global warming, and we are the last generation to have an opportunity to do something about it. And one of the things we should do about it is make a commitment to move entirely out of fossil fuels. It can be done. It will generate tens of thousands of new jobs, unionised jobs, high-quality jobs. But we need to do it quickly, and we need to do it deliberately. I also want to say this. Anything we do now in the hinterland behind the Central Coast is destroying the food supply of Sydney. This is about the Central Coast. It is also about Sydney. As transport fuel becomes more expensive, as transport byways become more congested, whatever we can grow locally, and the Central Coast is quite local to Sydney, becomes critical to feeding a conurbation of 4.7 million people. This is a Central Coast issue, it's a Sydney issue, it is a New South Wales issue, it is a nationwide issue. We should not be touching coal seam gas, and we should be looking at a future that not only doesn't use it here in New South Wales, but does not export gas from this continent. We don't need to do that. There are better ways of making a living.
I guess I'm reminded of BHP being paid money, or paying money rather, to put pollutants into the Hunter River, including arsenic. Basically, a simple thing is it was wrong you don't do it. We do know one thing about coal seam gas extraction. It doesn't work right all of the time, therefore don't to it until you get a better way of doing it. If you can't get a better way of doing it, leave it where it is. It's not doing any harm now. But it will if you do it wrong. That's the first principle. The second thing is, one of the things we need to get out of our psyche, we don't need to dig up every piece of stuff, suck out every piece of stuff that's under the surface of our country and sell it to somebody overseas. We've got to get out of that because we need, I don't know about you, but maybe if we don't destroy the place, in 1,000 years' time, somebody might find a good way of using coal seam gas. Let's leave some for them. That's a good idea. We don't need to use everything that the people who haven't been born yet might need. We've got to start thinking about conserving what we do. We have the issue in Newcastle, exactly the same as you have here. They want to go and do all their coal seam gas stuff where we get some of our fresh water for our areas, in the sandbeds around Newcastle. The same problem is all throughout the state. If it ain't safe to get it out, leave it where it is. And I know it ain't safe because you see, I have a friend of mine in Israel. He's currently working on something better. He used to work for Shell, and he got sick and tired of the lies. That's the way it is.